It's Sunday morning, or rather, afternoon. Saturday night is a blur, but you do know that you drank more than your fair share. You know this because of your pounding headache and queasy stomach. You know because the afternoon sun hitting your eyes feels like someone is taking an electric drill to your brain. You're weak, achy, dizzy, and there is a taste in your mouth that is indescribable and altogether disgusting. Oh, and you have cotton mouth to boot. In a word, you're miserable. Worst hangover ever. Well, there's nothing for it but the hair of the dog. Meaning of the English idiom, hair of the dog that bit you. Hair of the dog, or hair of the dog that bit you, means taking a little drink or a big drink of alcohol to cure a hangover after drinking too much the night before. Usage notes. Although hair of the dog predominantly refers to alcohol, the phrase can be used to refer to using a small amount of anything that made you ill as a cure for the illness. It can even be used for more abstract problems, such as something that made you upset, fearful, etc. Examples of use. I can't believe you're drinking this early in the morning, said Christy. Well, you know what they say, hair of the dog. My head is pounding. I wish I hadn't drunk so much last night. Well, nothing for it but some hair of the dog. Shelley decided that the cure for her sudden fear of heights was the hair of the dog that bit her. So she went up on the roof of her office building and stood on the edge every day for a week. Rick woke up at 8 a.m. and downed the remains of his last beer of the night before. It wasn't so much hair of the dog, but that he didn't realize it was a new day. Origin of idiom. Hair of the dog that bit you appeared as early as 1546 in John Haywood's collection of proverbs. I pray thee let me and my fellow have a hair of the dog that bit us last night. And bitten were we both to the brain, all right? We saw each other drunk in the good ale glass. The idea behind this phrase is that like cures like. If alcohol got you where you are now, then more alcohol will dig you out. Whether this really works or not is a subject of false debate, of course. Certainly, alcohol will not cure an alcohol hangover. Yet, this advice shows up in recipes and in household advice books from the 1600s. Drink too much? Have a little nip the next morning. The idiom in its modern sense may have nothing to do with a dog's hair, but it does stem from the same. It comes from the quite ancient belief that if you were bitten by a dog, a poultice of hair from the same animal pressed against the bite would either help heal the bite or at least protect you from the evil consequences of the bite. This may have been a reference to rabies, which no doubt was thought to be a possession by some kind of evil spirit or the like. The belief that the hair of the dog that bit you was a cure for the bite was firmly believed in ancient Britain. I've read references, although I cannot confirm their authenticity, of a woman suing a man after the man's dog bit her, saying that she would not have done so if only he had given her some of the dog's hair. Sometimes instructions for this dog bite treatment specifically advise cutting the hair off the tail. Of course, the hair of a dog was not the only ancient cure. For instance, it was also claimed that if you were bitten by a mad dog, you would also go mad unless you killed the dog at once. Another surefire rabies preventative was the mad stone. It was believed to draw out the poison if you pressed the stone against the bite. If the dog was not mad, the stone would just fall off. If the dog were mad, the stone would adhere to the wound until all the poisons were drawn out. As you can surmise, the stone was named after the very condition it was meant to protect against, madness. These stones were also thought to cure snake bites. A madstone was actually a hard accretion called a calculus, sometimes found in the stomach of ruminant animals who chew their cud, such as deer, from which the very best matstones were said to come. They are the same thing as bezoars, which have a long history of being poison antidotes as well as possessing many magical properties. Harry Potter fans may be familiar with them.